There we go.
Hello.
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 Hello. Hello.
This is me speaking into a microphone.
This
Hi,
is
guys.
speaking near a microphone.
All right then. All right. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back to another episode of Blurcast.
Yay!
Blurcast.
Hello. Yes, we're once again in the living room. We're floor surfing this time through the multiverse, and we've ended up in DC land with Justice League. We're talking about Justice League, the animated series, mostly focusing on the original animated series, not the unlimited follow-up series, which, I mean, I love both of them awesomely.
Or Super Friends.
Or Super Friends. With us today, discussing whatnot and such, we have Death Panda. Hi, Karen.
Oh, hi.
Princess Megatron.
Yep.
Myself, husband, obviously. Hi, Kyle.
Hi.
Hi, Kyle. Kyle
Meh.
style.
Meh.
And joining us for the first time, we have Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Hello.
Yeah.
First
So.
time.
Whoa, this
First
is
time.
probably the
Wow.
most girls we've ever had on a
Oh my
podcast
gosh, we outnumber you.
ever.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was definitely. I was counting around by
Gentle, it's my first time.
numbers. It's okay. Yeah. we'll be nice.
Jokes.
We don't bite too much.
Damn.
Speaking of snakes,
What? Nobody said anything about us. Oh.
we just watched an episode where Jean Jones, Martian Manhunter, turned into a giant
Two-armed snake monster.
Well, we saw both
Four-armed, I mean.
both of him. There were
Well, yes.
yeah,
There
he
were
was
two
like
of him?
wait, he wasn't a snake. Yeah, there were two of them. He wasn't a snake though because he had arms. I guess he was more like a dragon, like a Martian
Well, he was
dragon.
like a snake
You
with
reminded
arms.
me of the monster in Buffy in the episode when she goes to the frat house and they're gonna sacrifice the girl to the snake that lives in the basement.
Yeah.
That's what he looked like for anyone who watches Buffy and not Justice League.
Yeah, with this was the episode where they went into the alternate universe, and they come across the Justice Lords. It was called A Better World, and because Justice League is done in two parts, they're 2-part episodes always. For any complete story, you got to watch 2 episodes or 3. They split them up into 3 sometimes. And so you got to see the alternate versions of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. It opens up with Superman in the alternate universe killing Lex Luthor. Just straight up.
So maybe we should establish the members of the Justice League for those of you who are not super familiar.
Right.
With
So the
The
original
Justice League.
7, you've got Batman,
Superman,
Superman,
Guns of the Clowns.
Wonder Woman, because those are the big 3.
Green Lantern. In this version, it's Jon Stewart, not to be confused with the television comedian, wonderful person, Jon Stewart.
Flash.
Yep.
And my favorite guy whose name I cannot think of.
Martian
right now.
Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter, thank you.
And Hawk
And
Girl.
Hawk Girl.
Hawk girl.
Hawk Girl.
Girl.
We also we have one of the minimalist posters up here in the Blurcast studio. It's up here on the big wall of notes, and it's also has Green Arrow, Supergirl, Aquaman, Shazam, and Cyborg on it.
Who all show up in the Unlimited Justice League.
Yeah,
Justice League Unlimited.
Once you get into the expanded universe, the 3rd season of both series, I guess.
And
or-
as someone who's not super into Justice League, seeing Aquaman with a harpoon hand was
Yes.
pretty cool.
Aquaman
I liked that.
got a serious revamp for this, and he's way cooler.
Super badass.
Yeah. Just, like, way respectable.
Summon monsters from the deep, bitches.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know where in the real world timeline this happened, but they announced Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and now I'm just seeing Aquaman as being badass everywhere.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to make him darker to fit in with more of what DC's overall tone is becoming, based off of the Christopher Nolan Batman movies.
They've had a lot of success with the darker tones.
Yeah, the newer Superman films.
DC taking itself way too seriously again.
But if that's how they're being successful, it totally...
Wait. DC's being successful?
They had those
They're
Batman
having
movies.
successes.
They've been really great with the television shows so far.
Oh, yeah.
And the Christopher Nolan Batman movies.
I won't
were.
put any
Man of
spoilers in this,
Steel.
but the end
Which were
of
kind of a while
season
ago.
1 of Flash was freaking amazing.
And Man of Steel was kind of darker, and that was a success as far as a lot of their movies have been considered.
I had so many problems with that movie. I think that the Superman from the animated series is way more relatable for being that he's a little animated guy than the one in the live action movie.
But I'm talking about the one with Amy Adams as the love interest, not the one that came out like
Oh, okay.
5 or 6 years ago.
That one starred Brandon Routh,
Yeah.
who is now on Flash and Green Arrow. He's portraying Adam, Ray Palmer, which is interesting. He's also a member of the Justice League.
Okay.
He shrinks down.
He's
a tiny guy. And it's the way it was supposed to go. He was supposed to have that revealed on Green Arrow, but it's been shoved into Legends of Tomorrow, which is the new program that they're going to have coming out, I believe, next year. DC Legends of Tomorrow with Rip Hunter, the Time Traveler, and there's going to be a lot of time traveling and universe jumping, which I'm stoked about because multiverse. Come on, people. And that's what we saw in this episode. Was we saw 2 separate versions of the Justice League. There was the dark version of Batman, Superman. Wonder Woman got a haircut and put on some pants.
Yeah, for ladies wearing pants.
Yes, and yay for Wonder Woman having a different outfit for once.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Like,
it was
still haven't updated.
it was red pants and like a gold belt and then like a black V top,
But it was pants.
but it was pants,
Yes.
not underwears.
Must be chilly in that alternate universe. She's like, you know what?
The only
I think
explanation.
I'm actually gonna put something over my legs.
Wait, for
Once.
people to take me seriously, I actually can't walk around in my underwear.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they definitely like were just drawing a hard line on all crime, and they had just created totalitarian society.
Yeah, they depicted a
Always
guy arguing about his bill, and then he hadn't even left, and he's just being
Right, at
Arrested.
a restaurant.
arrested
Just
for
because
arguing.
saying 5 and 5 don't make 15,
Yeah,
and he didn't want to pay
extra.
Yeah.
And on top of bad service, and yeah.
But
And
the split point in that episode was that Superman had to choose whether to kill Lex Luthor or not.
Right.
we never even discovered what Lex Luthor's plan was. It was just like, he's got an evil plot. We've got to stop him.
Well, that he got elected president and that there was something darker behind it, you know. So we don't really need to know. He was
I
president.
mean, yeah, pretty much. Like it's just
Well-
Luthor. He's got some kind of evil scheme.
Right.
That's
Always.
what he
Superman
does.
was given the choice of what to do about
I mean,
it.
really, probably Lex Luthor has one plan, and he just keeps, or one goal, and he just
Well, it's
keeps
the,
coming up
the
with
bonding
different.
with the dude thing, right? The robot guy.
The which what now? You gotta be a little.
The robot Supermans?
Oh,
No, Lex Luthor and the
Brainiac?
Brainiac.
Yes.
Yeah, that is
Oh.
his goal.
Oh, from the is that the end of the? That's the end of the series 2, I think.
Of Unlimited.
No, season 2 of the regular Justice League when
Right.
Brainiac and Lex Luthor fused, but that wasn't Lex's plan. That was Brainiac's plan.
But then, okay.
And Unlimited it then
Are you sure
becomes
that was
his.
season 2? Because then
Yeah, that
Lex
was the end.
Luthor's things becomes
Because we-
pursuing
Yeah,
Brainiac.
in the
Season two,
beginning
I
of
think
season
we just
1
watched
of
Unlimited. Okay.
Unlimited. Or no?
It wasn't the end of
Okay,
season
so
2
that
of the
was-
original, 'cause I just
no,
watched that. and
right.
That was
That was the
Star-Crossed
Thanagarian invasion.
Yeah.
It was the end of season 1 of Unlimited was when they fused Brainiac with Lex Luthor, and then all of season 2, his ultimate goal is to revive Brainiac so that they can become
Right. Well, that
godlike.
sounds something like they had to do that in order to give Lex Luthor a bigger plan
right.
to make him a more effective villain.
An ultimate end goal
Yeah.
instead of just power and money and defeating Superman because he's Superman. Which, I mean, at the root of the character, he really is, like, he's a complete humanist. He doesn't want alien supremacy overlording the human race. And, like, that's what he's trying to prevent, is, like, Superman being the superior overlord.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, except that he's
In
sort of
his
an
mind.
alien coming to Earth and moving things around. What's the episode that we watched a few days ago where they're doing training?
Oh, yeah.
And they're going, Superman, you don't always have to take the punches. Like, just use your heat vision. And he's like, no.
Oh,
I
every
can
punch.
take
yeah,
the punches.
Every punch I take, somebody else doesn't have to.
Right.
Yeah.
If I let it all out, if I go full on Superman,
I'm Superman. You can't
So many
hurt me
people are
just
gonna
by
get
punching
hurt.
me.
right, I'll take the punches. I'll get thrown onto buildings, through buildings, into the ground, stomped into
So
the
he's
ground.
tanking everything.
Yeah, and buildings get torn down.
I was
People die.
Can we talk about destruction of public property?
Yeah.
Private and
okay.
public
So
property.
there was a scene where Flash is fighting alternate Superman, and Superman's throwing punches, and Flash is just dodging. And then he takes Superman and whirls him really, really fast around in like a whirlwind, and then throws him like a throwing hammer, like track and field. You guys are all just looking at
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Follow.
And then he breaks through a window and then crashes down outside through a building. And it's like, okay, well, if Flash threw him and then just his momentum of falling brought him, like the parable of his arc, the parabolic arc at the peak, he
Big
loses
words.
momentum and then drops down through the building. So it's just gravity's effect on Superman.
And which
And
do
he
you think
crashes through like a two-story concrete building just by the weight of him.
That were empty. There were no people in these buildings
Right.
ever.
Of
course not.
They're all
Of course
empty.
never. It
was a
Nobody
prison.
nobody lives
It was a
in
prison.
Metropolis.
They were
Miraculously
breaking
is
somebody out of
just
prison.
out of
Right.
reach of the
So there's
explosions.
obviously
It's like-
nobody in
Right.
there at all.
It's like, and also,
Empty
if
buildings.
Superman is falling, why doesn't he just shift his gravity and start flying?
Right. Because
And not
that's
fall.
like that's
'Cause,
like
he's not getting
Superman's
knocked out.
actual ability is
Yeah.
his ability to manipulate gravity.
Yeah.
So
I
It's
know.
just really dizzy after
Yeah.
yeah. spun around.
Does Superman get dizzy though?
Probably not.
I mean, he bleeds, right?
actually, maybe that's what he was trying to do. So when he was whirled around really fast by the Flash, he got really dizzy, and so then he turned up his gravity so he wouldn't be like floating off into space. Maybe it was a good response. I don't know. I'm overanalyzing an illustrated
is he able to control the
television program.
manipulation,
And
or
also
is it
stuff that
just sort of
involves
automatic?
Superman,
Right.
which Superman. It doesn't usually make sense because it's Superman.
But I think they do.
Let me
good-
explain. Superman.
But I think for those reasons, like they give him a
That's-
good job giving him weaknesses like that, where like he can't do things because he'll hurt people.
It was
Like that's a good weakness for the most powerful man in the world.
I feel like
Yeah.
his main weakness is his humanity.
He's got a total messiah complex where he has this need to save everybody because he's the only one who's able to, supposedly. But is he really able to save everybody? No, he can't be everywhere at once. And that's part of the reason he builds robots, is because he can't be everywhere at once, and sometimes he has to go off into outer space missions. And
There's an odd parallel here between
Just-
Tony Stark's Ultron and
Yeah.
Superman's Superman bots. It's just not a good idea. Don't make robots of yourself. It's bad. Bad idea. Think all
Yeah.
around.
They'll become sentient and destroy things.
yeah,
Yeah, because especially in that
It's a good plot device.
universe,
It makes for a good story.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, yeah.
In your quest for doing good, you ultimately do bad. if you get too ahead of yourself.
I think two of the most interesting characters are the two lesser known ones from Justice League, Martian Manhunter and Hawkgirl.
Yes,
Who-
my favorites.
As someone who's not too versed in Justice League and DC, who are these characters?
They're both aliens.
Okay.
So Martian Manhunter is actually pretty self-explanatory. He is from Mars.
Okay.
He's the last surviving Martian. Oh, last surviving alien. Where did that storyline come from? And then Hawkgirl is a Thanagarian. And there are other Thanagarians who are still alive.
Well,
There's
yeah,
a whole
there's a whole
empire.
civilization.
Empire fighting against Lizard Mans.
I just
Hawk
watched it. I
versus
should know the
lizard.
name of them.
Which you're
don't. It's
welcome,
It's not an
CJ. I know you're not here, but you needed me to say Lizard Man.
But yeah, the Justice League animated series begins with Martian Manhunter's story and ends with Hawkgirl's story,
Whoa.
which are both very moving. I mean, immediately right off the bat, you get Martian Manhunter, isn't it? Spoilers!
Yep.
I'm going to tell the story of Martian
Yeah.
Manhunter.
Oh, yeah,
If
go.
you don't want to know, just watch it.
If we
It'll
haven't
take
already.
20 minutes and then tune back in. Whatever.
Spoilers.
I think that's
Yeah,
what this
his-
Maybe you should
episode is.
just caption this episode
Oh,
with
yeah.
spoilers.
Yes.
I probably.
So he's from Mars, and he comes to Earth as the last surviving Martian because his civilization got destroyed by evil aliens that then follow him to Earth.
The white Martians.
And they're gross looking.
But they weren't actually Martians. They were from another planet that they infested, and then they're like a virus, a viral race.
What's the episode with the
Racial
little
virus.
creepy flower thing? Is that in Unlimited?
That's yes, it's Mongol gives Superman everything you could dream of. I don't remember the name
But
of the
basically, there's a couple times where you get
episode. For the
really,
man who has everything.
right.
Because it's like, what do you get Superman for his birthday? He's Superman.
A girlfriend.
Gift card? Batman got him cash.
Because he's Batman.
No, but what I was getting at was
No,
you
you-
get flashbacks of Martian Manhunters, like, and it's tragic and it's really moving.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Superman too, I guess. His whole
world is-
civilization got destroyed as well.
But that's
Very-
old news. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Superman's planet got destroyed.
Wait, Krypton blew up?
What?
What?
But yeah, Martian Manhunter
Gallifrey!
gets his mind tapped into because he's a mind reader a lot, and so he has all these flashbacks about his family. And I think it's the creepy flower thing,
Yeah.
where they take it off of Superman and it gets onto Martian Manhunter, and he
Yeah.
has this whole hallucination where he's with his family again, and you're just like, "Wah!" He's got little kids
I
and a
remember that.
wife,
Yeah.
smoking hot green alien wife,
Yeah.
animated green alien wife.
Tactile sculpture in the household. It was pretty... I do like how they portray Martian society as being very completely different because they are a psychic species and that they communicate telepathically predominantly. Like, they don't use their mouths for communication. And that just all aspects of their society are completely different because of that. And it creates a really great contrast between what we view as a culture and what Martian Manhunter's used to, being dropped onto a alien planet where he doesn't have anybody who he can relate to except these other caped beings who are just as spangly and colorful and stand out just as much, and that's like the closest he can come.
But he never, you realize, he never feels connected to Earth. He does it because it's the only thing he can do, I think, a lot of the time. Like, he just, I don't know. He's very reserved. And you get that when you see, like, him watching his family die.
Yeah.
Like, he's emotionally not there. And
And
he'll do
then-
it because it's the right thing to do. He'll be a hero for Earth. But I don't think he gets much out
Well,
of it.
until like the end of the series,
Right.
At the second half of the second season of Justice League, he like disappears for a while because basically, was it Hawkgirl? I'm pretty sure it was Hawkgirl who was just like, Jean, you never leave the Watchtower. Like, you haven't
That's
been
their
to this.
floating spaceship. in space. It's the Watchtower.
Okay.
It's not a tower.
No, it's a ship. It's more of just
It's a satellite.
thing.
It's a space station.
It's a floaty space thing.
Yeah, so he he hasn't even been to the planet that he's saving in a while because he becomes like the
Director?
Yeah, the director of the Justice League. He manages all the missions from the control center.
He becomes Nick Fury.
Yeah. Sort of.
Okay.
As far as like how he got to be, like when I said he pairs up with these colorful people, that's how he takes his image, because he doesn't even use his actual appearance as a green Martian most of the time. It's like this kind of amalgam of all of the other members of the Justice League.
And green.
And green with the pirate boots.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, the scene that you're talking about, Hot Girl calls him out and is like, you don't even go to Earth anymore. And he's like, I don't care. I don't care. Right. I have trouble caring about anything. And she's like, you need to do something. That's not healthy. And so he's like, fuck it, I'm out of here.
Yeah, he goes on a leave of absence. And he leaves
for like, I don't know.
And then we don't even
episodes.
see him again until like the last episode. And he, it's kind of this random scene where you're in a montage where you're seeing a lot of the expanded Justice League fighting all over the planet, and then
they're fighting some invasion, right? Or
yeah,
all the bad guys. Or something. They're fighting bad stuff.
And you see this one guy transform into a dragon and fight off some aliens or whatever.
No, it's a little old man, and he kisses his little old wife on the cheek.
Standing on the Great Wall of China.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then he turns into a Chinese dragon, and you're like, who the fuck is this? And then he transforms again, and he's Martian Manhunter, and you're like, oh, he's back, and
they've changed his vocal patterns, and yeah, he
was brighter, he
warmer,
smiles more.
Yeah.
So
he was hanging out with Batman too much.
He found a way to be human and to be happy.
Batman too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't hang out with Batman too much.
Because Batman's a little dark.
Let's talk about Batman.
He lives in a cave.
Moody.
He like always saves the day.
He goes out at night.
He's the smart one.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the brains behind the entire operation. I'm gonna say this
because I was having a fantasy.
I just pay for everything and make everybody look cooler.
I was just having this thing in my head before. It was cracking up where Batman is getting old, and he's like, but he's a detective, and he's just working on this thing, and he starts to realize that the world that they live in is a lie, and they're all animated, and it's just like no, and everybody thinks he's going crazy.
That he discovers that he's animated. Oh no!
Hey Wesley.
Hello.
Hey, you're on the podcast.
What?
You're on the Blurcast.
Oh, okay.
We're doing recording about Justice League right now.
Who's your favorite Justice League member?
Who's your favorite?
Oh, favorite Justice League member off the top of my head would be...
Wesley's favorite is...
The Flash, because he's so witty.
Yeah, the Flash is awesome.
He's the conscience
of the
super
caring and just like super... Just, oh my god.
Alright, I'm gonna let you go, Wes.
Oh.
I'll text you.
You sound so sad.
I was gonna call you to check in with you about doing the podcast.
Well, you should come over. And I'll text you.
We're doing it right now, man.
We're doing it right now.
Well,
I'll text you. I'll text you. I'm gonna text you.
Okay.
Okay, I hung up.
It's so sad.
The funny thing about Batman in the Justice League is that Batman did not buy into it at all. Superman and Wonder Woman are like, yeah, let's do this thing and have a secret club and we're gonna save the world. And Batman's like, that's dumb.
Call me, maybe I'll
call me. Call me if you need actually to do something.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to my cave
stupid.
and like monitor the things that I normally do.
And then they're always like, Batman, come hang out with us. And he's like, no, you guys are weird. You wear colors that aren't black.
Well, Batman is also literally the most
socialize.
human of the group because he is human. He creates his super persona.
Yeah.
He has the means to, but he of all of them seemed to be, rightly so, the least connected because everyone else has their superpowers within them, and he has to create them.
And he's the leader. They all look to him for everything, even though he's like, I want nothing to do with you guys. They're all like, but what should we do?
So this is out of the animated show, but in the comic books, when they actually killed Bruce Wayne by Darkseid's Omega beams, which are like Superman's laser beams, but they can like shoot around corners.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And so he gets,
of course, obviously,
he gets zapped to death, and then because this is like off in space, and Superman and Wonder Woman collect his costume and bring it back to Earth, and they're handing it over to Dick Grayson, and they're like, so what's the plan? And Dick's like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, Batman had a plan for everything. What was the plan for when he died?
Well,
Oh gosh.
which Robin becomes Nightwing?
Dick Grayson.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was Nightwing at this point.
Oh, okay.
And they're handing over the Batman costume going, what do we do? And he's just kind of like,
well, I'm Nightwing now.
I'm Batman? And that's how it went. Yeah.
I'm Batman.
Is that a question?
I'm Batgirl.
So then, Hawk Girl ends the series.
Yeah, so are we going to just roll right past the fact that Wesley's favorite character is Flash?
Okay, we can do
We should
Flash
talk about
first.
Flash.
You're right,
Yeah.
we should.
Because he called in.
West.
Should we see?
Wally West. Yeah,
This
this
is
is
my favorite Flash.
he's technically the third Flash, because there's Jay Garrick, there's Barry Allen, who's now the main focus of the
the only one I
CW
knew about.
TV show, and Wally West is the third Flash. He was the first kid Flash, and then he grew up to be the Flash. So he's like a generational Flash. And he's absolutely the most lighthearted, the most witty, and the most meta of all the characters. Like, he's got some...
It doesn't have any baggage.
Yeah.
Is it
He's
a
just
coincidence
happy-go-lucky.
that the fast ones are witty? Like, they come up
I mean-
with
They're just quick.
Yeah.
Their
Well,
brains
yeah.
move faster.
And he sped up his heartbeat. He can speed up his brain.
Right.
Sure,
So
why
when they
not?
got captured, like, Batman and other Batman are like, how am I'm going to get out of here, you know? And then other Batman's like, no, because I thought of everything. And Batman's like, everything? He's like, well, at least everything you would think of, because I'm Batman.
Right, he's talking to himself.
They actually make a joke
And then
in the
Flash is like, so what's the plan to get out of here? Because that's what they do. And Batman's like, I don't know, because I already thought of everything I would think of, so I can't get us out of here, because I already had the plan to get us in here. And so Flash is like, well, I got to do something, because Batman's not giving me anything here. And he speeds up his heartbeat so fast that it appears to have flatlined. And Batman's like, I didn't know you could do that. And he's like, well, obviously other Batman didn't either.
That happens quite a bit in this series where Flash discovers things he can do. Like
Yeah.
the one
Yeah.
where he
He's
makes
got
like the super
ever-expanding
tunnel
powers.
and
Like,
slurps the
As
trucks
soon as he can
and
think of it.
bad
Well, when
monster
your main
thing.
power is
did-
being
What?
fast.
What?
Okay, you remember the one where he like speeds up so fast he can like create a warp in space time and he almost gets sucked in and
Yeah,
like
that's
almost
how
dies?
he defeats Luther Brainiac.
Yeah, right.
But
Yeah,
yeah, but
that's when he
you're-
goes into the Speed Force.
When your main power is just being fast, you gotta create ways for it to stay interesting.
Like the helicopter arms.
Yes.
The best ever. Look,
Did-
I can fly. I'm like a helicopter. Whoosh, on his face. Kind of.
Because you can't maintain your momentum without being on something.
Yeah, you gotta have a stabilizer, and he didn't have any stabilizer.
Yeah.
He needs like like leg fins.
Oh.
Like Aqualad.
Aquaman?
Yes. Like little leg fins. His like his tail, so he can use his helicopter arms and fly around.
helicopter arms.
Well, dude can run on water, so that's cool.
He can. And the other thing he can do is he can superheat water.
Stirring it and vibrating it. And
Yeah.
Just
And so then
agitating the molecules.
it becomes steam, and when water converts to steam, it increases by volume. I believe it's sixfold. And so essentially, if he runs around in a circle really fast on a lake, he can create a water spout. And
A geyser.
yeah, like a geyser, and then rain. he can make rain.
Interesting.
That was in an episode or an issue of Teen Titans. Actually, not Wally. What's the other one? Bart Allen figured that one out. Yeah, the great grandson of Barry Allen from the future. Yeah, who is the second Kid Flash who comes back in time, and then becomes the Flash.
Now that it was brought up briefly, I just want to say, like, Teen Titans from a few years ago was probably one of my favorite.
The Teen Titans Cartoon Network show.
Yeah, is probably one of my favorite animated superhero shows.
Yeah.
We're actually working through it right now, and as soon as we finish it, we'll get an episode together.
Wait,
or like 3 months later, which is what we're doing right now.
Do you have it on DVD?
No.
We do not. We've been going on various websites.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Got it.
That are websites that you can watch things on.
Yes.
Yeah. Totally cool.
I have an app for that. Really do.
So we talked about Flash. We talked about Martian Manhunter.
Superman, Batman, we
talked
got
about
Wonder
Superman.
Woman, Green
Wonder
Lantern.
Woman's obviously, well, maybe not obviously. Wonder Woman's in Amazon.
Yeah.
From Themyscira, the land of Amazons,
Which are Greek, not in Brazil.
They make them. They make the Amazons there, out of clay.
Because they're all ladies.
Because they don't have any men. So.
Because who needs them?
No sex.
Men are evil.
Wonder Woman has never had sex.
In actual mythology,
I could believe
don't they
that, but...
just do away with any male child that is made?
No, in the actual mythology, the men just didn't run society. It was just role reversal, gender swapping. Men were the housekeepers, and women were the breadwinners. And
I read a
politicians and leaders.
I read a book when I was in high school where they don't outright say Amazons, but it is highly suggested that they are Amazons, and the women like go out, kidnap dudes, and
procreate,
and then any male that happens to get made is then left out into the wilderness to die. Yeah, and
because humans are weak when they're infants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like most other animals have like a decent chance of survival when left on their own.
Oh no.
That's not necessarily true.
I mean,
but it's certainly
a fair number.
A few other animals.
Yeah.
I mean, primates and monkeys as well.
Many other animals you can.
Or
get up and walk
primates,
as you're
apes, and monkeys
born within
are
minutes
not.
of being born.
Yeah, and then like within a couple of months to a year, are pretty much full grown. Humans, no.
We take
like
months to even walk.
Yeah.
Also, we can't like drink the water from a lake.
Yeah, we can't feed ourselves.
Because like what?
Yeah, there's lots of stuff. We're not super.
No.
Let's just put it at that. Well,
how did
where
we get
were
to
we?
this?
Amazons.
Amazons leaving.
Like the Spartans. The Spartans weeded out the
weakness.
weakness, and they just discarded any
Weak things.
Yeah, anything that they consider
Though I will
weakness
say they
or
didn't have a
different.
particularly successful civilization in the long run, any more than the Athenians or anyone else. So, for all that sounds...
Yeah, well, they kind of got overrun, so that happens.
So the
Your
Greeks...
country is based
Speaking
on
of being
city-states.
overrun by another culture, Hawkgirl.
I thought we were talking about Wonder Woman.
Well, we skipped to Hawkgirl now.
Okay,
Because
well, I just
Hawkgirl's
wanted to
not
bring up
first.
the
Are we done with
inclusion
her?
of the Greek gods
Yeah.
in
they do.
this universe. You know, Marvel uses the Norse gods,
Primarily,
Norse
although they
mythology.
do hang out with Hercules a
Yeah.
bunch.
Oh, of course they do.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose there's no copyright on those things.
No.
No, not on
they're gods.
mythology.
And the Norse gods do also show up in DC a bit.
But like Hades is a dick. He shows up a few times.
Hades
Ares
is a
shows
total
up.
dick.
He's
Yeah.
pretty.
Hades
No.
is
But also
always
a dick.
portrayed
Because
as a
most
dick.
of Wonder Woman's
I mean,
opponents
they are
are
the Greek gods, so they're all dicks.
the Greek pantheon.
Hephaestus shows up. He's a dick.
Yeah.
He makes some shit armor for Hades or Ares.
The Destroyer.
None of the other lady gods
which
show
is
up.
essentially the same as the Annihilator
would they?
from
They're
Thor.
women. Who needs them?
It's actually exactly
you're
the
right.
same as the Annihilator
that's
from
it.
Thor.
Which
It's a
Ares in
male-based
magic
show.
armor.
Yeah.
Mainly.
Where you were saying why none of the female gods show up?
Yeah.
I mean, Hera makes an appearance.
Does she? When?
Yeah, it's the mother.
Athena
mother,
makes an
of course.
appearance. I
No,
mean, and
Hippolyta
also
is.
Hippolyta,
Sorry, I'd say it.
Hippo, what?
Queen.
That's how it reads. It's one of those words that you read it one
Yeah.
way and you're supposed to say it a different way.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then in your brain, you
Hippolyta
always just...
is her mother.
Hermione Granger. Yeah, I totally get that.
Hermione Granger.
Hippolyta actually has a really interesting history as a Greek legend person, and it was really interesting that they made her Queen of the Amazons in this.
Yeah.
It's yeah, like she shows up in Chaucer.
Yep. I remember that.
Josh is the cool dude.
Definitely. Now I want to
Is
watch
he
A
on the
Knight's
Justice
Tale.
League?
You wrote a story about...
No, but you know who is in the
guy
Justice
going
League?
around with girls?
No, he's not in the
Okay.
Justice League. He's in the Avengers. Never mind.
Who?
Let's see. I'm coming around. Chaucer, A Knight's Tale, Paul Bettany,
Paul Bettany.
The Vision, and the Avengers.
Yeah. Love that actor.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
Except
Hashtag
not
Marvel.
Marvel and DC are very different.
Hashtag multiverse.
They're-
Hashtag they can coexist. Hashtag they do crossover.
Hashtag they're constantly trying to keep up with each other.
Hashtag why are we hashtagging?
Because...
It's lame.
Hashtag
Cheers
is
to
this
that.
thing.
Hashtag because
Okay, so Hot Girl.
Yep, let's do that.
Yeah, so the alien invasion at the end of series 1, the regular Justice League, at the end of the season
that's-
2 of series 1,
Right.
the three episodes are the finale, and this alien ship shows up and like comes really close to crashing into the White House, and then everyone's like, oh no! But then these Thanagarians show up and they're like, no, don't worry, we got it, we saved it. And then everyone's like, oh, Hawk Girl, your people are here to help us.
And
everybody's
Hot Girl's
at the
like,
White
hey
House for some
guys,
reason.
long time no see. I was waiting for you to show up. And they're like, the one guy's like, hey baby. And Green
Lantern's like, what?
So she basically betrays them all first by not telling them that she was a super secret, spoilers, spy for the Thanagarians the whole time. Because they want to settle Earth.
He's military.
Yeah.
No, they don't want to settle Earth. They want to build a hyperspace
Oh, that's right.
byway.
Well, they want to use
Through
Earth
The cover is that they want
Yeah.
to
So
wait.
annihilate the
from their
lizard people.
Yeah.
Are we the lizard people?
It's a key.
No.
It's a key waypoint along the journey through hyperspace to crush the lizard mans. Lizard mans.
and Earth will be
So
destroyed
they want to
in the
make it like
process.
a...
Well, that's... I don't know.
They're using
the
basically
lizard
Earth's
men
energy
never
to
show
create
up.
like a super force field
At
to
all.
destroy
Well, there was
the
one-
lizard
Is
Is this
people.
involved in
I mean, they show-
destroying
yeah,
Earth, or
they
just...
show-
Batman's
Yes.
like, I know a frozen
Okay.
lizard.
They're using its
Why would
energy.
it still be frozen?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Batman totally detects all the detectiveness.
He's like,
He
this
figures
isn't.
it out.
He's like, this isn't right. Everyone's like, no, it's fine. He's like, no.
They're bringing us
Guys,
better
I'm
technology.
Batman.
They're
I know
supporting
it's
our
never-
society.
it's
They're
never
benign.
fine. If you
They're
see
doing a
Wonder
benign occupation. And Batman, guys, anybody else watch science fiction? This isn't gonna go well.
It's like, have you noticed
We live in a
how
spaceship here.
everything goes around us? It's never good.
But you get a lot about Hot Girl as, you know,
Never
she's
good.
been sort of lying and faking her way through this the whole time. Not that she hasn't been helping, genuinely, or putting her life in danger, genuinely, or genuinely had feelings for Jon Stewart, Green Lantern. But she's been lying to them the whole time. And it's like another one of those really like, oh, this is really deep for an animated show. Like, I actually care that she betrayed them.
Yeah, it's been
and
like-
it's a big
they've
deal.
The final fight is seriously like, of those 3 episodes is like really intense, and like Green Lantern gets his face messed up.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's because I just watched it like an hour ago. It's impressive for an animated show.
They definitely
Whoa,
kick the crap out of
multiple
each
times
other.
It's just like whoa. And Shayura just gets smacked and thrown.
Right, and that's the first time you see her without her helmet on. It's the first time you learn her
No, it
first
wasn't
name.
It wasn't the first time.
It's oh right,
Jon
she
Stewart
kisses.
took it off once,
yeah.
and there was like this whole thing, and she looks really pretty. It's like, oh yeah.
It's the first time you learn her name. She's got some hubby, who's like the general of everyone.
They're like promised to.
Yeah,
like
they're gonna
arranged
get married,
thing.
and she was just like fucking around.
She was getting all up in some of the Justice League characters.
Geo.
And
Geo,
Ooh.
namely.
Yeah. Like.
And then Wonder Woman and Batman totally have
Sexual tension. They
Tension.
have sexual tension. But the thing I like most about Hot Girl is that she's a woman.
I think Batman and
Hawk
Superman
woman.
have sexual tension.
I mean, they do in various. I mean, the comics are always called Hawk Girl,
I just mean that she is a woman, so that's good.
right?
Avengers
Plus.
is low on the woman's side, especially in the films recently.
They're
working on it.
They're working on it.
But she's a core member from right from the start, and she's badass. She will hit anything. She's not
Yeah.
like Wonder Woman's
Her-
like
that's her-
I'm a diplomat.
Yeah.
Hot Girl's like,
Shayura
can I kill it? Can I hit it really hard?
She is such a badass.
Can I break
love
it?
her.
She
I have a mace.
She takes GL on a date. Her idea of a date is to go to a bar and get into a huge bar fight and just do the same thing every single day. The same thing that they do every day. For
Yeah.
fun. She
So-
loves
The Christmas
it.
She loves
episode.
to go in and fuck shit up.
She's like, John, I'm gonna take you somewhere special for Christmas.
And he's
They
like,
go to
okay.
they go to an alien space dive bar, and like
Just tear shit up.
she's
And
like,
that's what
you
she
know what
wants
could
to
make this
do.
day more perfect? And John's like, what? And is like looking deep into her eyes. And then she takes her mace and just clomps the hand of the guy next to her, and it's this like 11-foot tall blue alien cyclops. And then she's like, he did it, and points at GL and just gets
And he's just
decked
like,
in the face.
what the hell? This
Oh shit! Bam. Yeah. I really like her.
So she like thrives on
You would like her.
action and
she's
stuff
just-
like that.
She's not, your typical girly
Because
girl.
that's
She
what
doesn't
her
have a
world is like.
particularly...
You just-
Well, she wears tights at least.
And underwear.
And underwear.
And
On
then
the
in the
outside
next
of the
series-
tights.
Then in the next series,
And
she
winged
totally
boots.
changes her outfit and doesn't wear a helmet anymore.
Well, it's funny because in the comics, Hawkman came first, but then for the animated series, they put Hawk Girl in instead, which I totally respect that choice because,
Hawkman is
again, it would
Right.
be Sausage Fest. And so in the comic books, Hawk Girl takes her look from Hawkman, but in the TV show, once they finally introduce Hawkman, he's like, oh yes, I modeled myself after you. And so he's got the like pseudo
I made these wings.
yeah
Yeah.
Out
Did
of
you?
paper mache.
out of
Hawkman's
And
paper mache,
tears.
duct tape, and nth middle.
Out of wax and feathers.
Yeah.
How many birds did you slaughter?
Just went to the craft
That's
store
in
and
the
picked
that's
up
in the
some.
Unlimited,
Craft
right?
store?
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
Hawkman
pick up
shows
some
up.
of those colored.
No,
feathers.
that's in the first series as well because they introduced Shadow Man,
Oh, right.
Shadow Thief, and he's Hawkman's nemesis.
Right, well, this
My
dude shows up and is like, I'm obsessed with Hot
nemesis.
Girl. And it turns
Yeah.
out they have some
He's
shared
totally
destiny
a-
thing. And
He's totally stalker. And Batman's like, don't go out with him. He's a stalker. And she's like, I'll do what I want.
she's like, fuck it.
And
I
then
can-
he's a
I'll
total
hit him.
stalker.
Exactly.
I can stand up for
And she
myself.
totally hits him.
And I think that also goes to show that, people don't like being told what to do. You can suggest anything all you want.
Especially Hot Girl. Not
Yeah.
so good with the... Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
You'll get more response out of people who say, I suggest not doing this. Out of my experience, not don't do this. Because grown adults don't like being told what to do. Generally.
Big
I
red
am an
button.
adult.
Do not push
I'm
it.
sure nobody really
Make
likes
me
that.
not push it. Boop.
So we were also going to talk about like how they are constantly undermined by
Yeah,
their
they
weaknesses.
they completely forget that they have certain powers. Like one of my biggest peeves is that like they get tied up frequently, and Martian Manhunter has the ability to become intangible and like just he could just get out of it. He'd just like phase through whatever it is that's holding him down and punch whatever it is in the face and then save the rest of them.
Also, though
And
he does
he
not
just-
seem to be injured by fire, he really doesn't like it very much.
Well,
No.
that like
it might make
it's
him
definitely
so
his
weak.
it's
Ow.
I mean, he's susceptible to it. It's not so much of a weakness. He's just
He won't burn
It
up like us.
hurts. It hurts.
no, he's not as fireproof as we are.
just
He's
very
more prone to
uncomfortable
being
around
burned by
fire.
fire.
He
But
always seems to
also,
go up
because
against...
he's telepathic, he knows that eventually he will be killed by fire. So he's pyrophobic.
Except that...
Oh.
So he knows that's how he's gonna
But that's
die.
that's beyond telepathic.
That's
That's psychic.
Psychic,
Precognition.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
that never comes up in the animated series.
no, it doesn't. But it's a thing.
Okay, well, I never
I'm
thought...
including.
I can understand that as a weakness if someone says, "Oh, you're gonna die by drowning." I'm probably gonna.
Not ever go in the water
Yeah,
as
yeah.
much as possible.
I'm just
But
saying...
then
if-
the thing
if-
is, you lose
That
your
doesn't-
ability to swim, and then you're more prone to drowning.
Yeah.
But fire is kind of
Well, that's the thing, is that doesn't
Not
come up in
water?
the show, and you're never really told explicitly that he
Anti-water.
doesn't like fire.
No, it just seems
Fuzz
like
told me
he's
that.
really susceptible to
And it was like, oh, that's why they're always pairing him against villains who are wielding some sort of fire
Fire.
technique. Because
Okay.
that makes
Those
sense.
are the only
'Cause
ones
those
he's
are-
going to.
Superman's like, no, I'll take the little guy. You get the fire-breathing guy because it's harder for you. You know,
Even though I'm invulnerable to it. You take this.
you take it. You got that one.
Superman, you son of a bitch.
well, yeah. If we're gonna talk about weaknesses here, Superman's weakness is a rock,
Yeah.
A fancy metal
And
glowing
magic.
rock.
And magic.
and magic. Yes, his other weakness is magic,
Did I hear?
but it doesn't like he doesn't have the potential to die from magic just being around him. It has
Yeah,
to be
just-
directed at him. Kryptonite, like you could just have kryptonite. And
he's like a
Superman's
dude.
like, oh, that sucks, man.
Allergic. I have an allergy.
Yeah, he's
I
allergic to
got
kryptonite.
hives. Oh, I'm so itchy. I just can't.
Did I hear correctly that in some of the Justice League lores in some of the universes that Batman has like the key weakness to all of the
Oh
other...
yeah, Batman
That's
carries.
in the animated
Yeah.
series
Okay,
as
that's
well.
all-
He carries
okay.
kryptonite on him at all
Every
times.
universe.
Okay.
Yeah, and at one point somebody's like, "You just always have kryptonite," and he's like,
Yeah.
"Well, yeah, duh."
Why
Have
not?
you seen this guy?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's good now.
But yeah, he definitely has the counter agent or backup plan for weakness. Like he has a contingency plan for everything. Like that's
Okay. He schemes and plans because he's dark and brooding.
yeah. He's the
And
detective. He
doesn't
thinks of all the
have
possibilities.
powers.
He plans for every eventuality, no matter
he's
how
Batman.
remote the
He's
possibility
Batman.
of that reality, including I ran out of reality to save. Better find another one.
Why he had that. The
Yeah.
to the other world.
Hey guys, Superman, come here, I need you. I'm having dinner with Lois. No, come here, I need you.
Okay, Batman,
Okay.
I'll be right there, Batman. Yeah, just give me a second, Batman. Yes.
Don't hurt me, Batman.
Sorry,
Sorry,
I said
Lois.
no the first time. First time. It's
There's
Furt
tension
time.
between them.
Yeah.
Right, which is why Batman...
And then they all show up and he's like, "Oh yeah, guys, check out my portal to another universe."
And
What
they're
is
like,
this?
"Oh."
Footage of us fighting years ago? No, it's an alternate universe. Of course it is. We're giggling about notes because I've just stretched out across the table that we record on here a big pad of paper, and we're just writing notes randomly on it. Kelly asked if she can swear, and Kyle
this is my
wrote,
first time. I
"Fuck
didn't
yes." We didn't really run her through like what we do.
Podcast etiquette.
Yeah.
There is no etiquette.
Fuck it.
So yeah,
Editing?
I've been told by certain
Oh, we've
people
got
who are
10
close
minutes
to me
left.
that,
Wow.
that I swear a
Huh.
lot, and I try and reserve that.
You and me both.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I try not to offend people, and if
Someone's
swearing is not cool here,
I don't
I'll
get
try-
fucking offended.
Exactly. Well,
How dare you think I would get offended? That is completely outrageous that you would think I would get
Somebody
offended.
stab him with with something pointy.
I like.
Ow! Those things are bad for you.
Do we want to touch on Unlimited just a little bit?
I mean, yeah,
Favorite
we'll go
people
run
from-
through. The Unlimited series begins with Green Arrow, and he takes
Supergirl.
and not in the first
Oh, I
episode.
thought it was. No.
No, he's just like, I don't want to be in the Justice League, and they're like, too bad, you're in the fucking Justice
They
League.
beam him up onto the Watchtower without
Against his will.
Against his will.
They de-atomized him, and he's like, I don't want to do that again. Give me a ship to fly home in.
Can we? I just want to touch on an episode from there called Ultiman.
Yeah, the Ultimate.
The Ultiman, because they revamp the Wonder Twins. And they're,
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of, but they're a little cooler and a little more respectable.
Yeah.
And like they're called Shifter and
Hydro?
something.
Or Aqua?
Something.
Are those
But
the
they're a
ones
little
in
cooler. So the brother, the guy doesn't turn into a bucket of water, but he actually has control over water, and it's like way more sense.
That's okay. That's the like made up team that
Yeah.
they start making clones
Like, they're
of.
clones, yeah.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
The sponsored corporate
And the guy, the main
America. Amanda Palmer sets that up with
No.
Neil Gaiman.
Star Labs.
What just happened?
Are you sure her last name is Palmer?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure. Amanda.
Her name is Amanda. She works for the military.
No, it's Ray Palmer. I'm getting that confused. Amanda Waller.
Hines?
Waller.
There we
Okay.
go.
There we go.
Got it.
Who actually shows up in the Flash
Green Arrow
series. Green Arrow series
on the TVs
on the TVs
with Argus.
with Argus.
Filch?
Uh-huh.
Filch.
She helps create the
Scarlet's
Ultiman as a alternative to the Justice League if they were to take over, which is a contingency plan they created because they were given intel about the alternate universe
With the Justice
where the
Lords.
Justice Lords killed President Luthor. So that's a direct response from them crossing into this other timeline, a separate continuity.
What is this Argus guy's power?
Argus is a it's an acronym. It's like a
SHIELD.
security team.
Okay.
It's the DC version of SHIELD essentially. We were using Marvel as all these reference points for Kelly because she
Actually-
understands the Marvel better, but also because most of our listeners will probably understand Marvel better considering they're being
yeah.
completely overshadowing DC.
Actually, Argus, because I'm a giant Harry Potter nerd, Argus Filch,
Right,
who's
that
the
was your-
caretaker, an Argus is a mythological creature with eyes all over its body that
Oh, the
sees
Watch.
everything.
Yeah, the Watchmen
So they're
that
based on
Hera
the same
sets
mythology.
on
That's
the-
really cool.
sets on the tree.
Yes.
And then once Hermes lulls him to sleep and kills him because he closed all his eyes, she memorializes him in the peacock.
Yep.
I know Greek mythology.
Whoa.
I'm a nerd.
I didn't know that.
Love Greek mythology.
So
Argus is a
cool.
peacock.
Oh, when I was younger,
It's so
I was
he can
reading
steal
Harry
the golden
Potter,
apple.
There was like all this stuff is
Oh,
from
Jason and the
actual
fleece
things.
thing?
Oh, was it Jason?
Well-
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
but he got a
Golden Apple. That's Atlanta in the running race. Oh, now we're just getting confused. Okay.
Anyway,
But the cast for the Unlimited is unlimited. There are so many of them.
and they carry through. Like the voices from both series are all the same, and
Nathan
they
Fillion
draw.
is a space cowboy.
Yeah, he's Vigilante, the aptly named cowboy who rides a motorcycle. But Batman is voiced by. Oh my God, this has gone right out of my head.
Nathan
Hold
Fillion
on, let me
also
look at
did
the wall
Green
of
Lantern
notes.
At one point.
The Wall of Notes.
Where is it?
What are you trying to figure out?
Nathan Fillion did voice Green Lantern in the animated movie. You guys probably can't hear me as well because I'm looking for notes.
But yeah, so you get a lot of Green Arrow. He's sort of one, like the new person that they use as like your base point for Unlimited, where you're like, I have no idea what's going on. Well, neither does Green Arrow, so we
Okay.
can relate to him and use him as like our.
The fan
Or
perspective
segue
you
into
can give
the
the
world.
exposition through.
Because Supergirl shows up out of nowhere, and she's apparently Superman's little cousin or something, who
Kara
was
Zor-El.
also sent from Krypton before it exploded, which is
But-
not particularly well explained.
What?
Because space travel is relative and
It took her a while to get
Yeah.
to Earth.
Yeah, she
Like, a lot.
took
Through the times and dimensions.
right
Space.
the wibbly wobbliness. She came out of the portal roughly the same age, being a teenager, whereas
Superman was a baby. when
yeah,
he came.
Superman was a baby, and he landed on Earth as a baby, and then had all this time to grow up. So he's technically
Younger?
he was born after her, but is older than her because he lived on Earth for all these years, and then she came out of hyperspace slumber or whatever
As a teenager.
as a teenager.
And then who else?
Um,
Booster Gold gets an episode.
yeah, Booster
He's
Gold.
like a
Oh my god,
non-character.
he's
almost.
also from the future. He comes back in time. He steals a super suit from a museum, and it's antiquated technology from his future. But he comes back to a time when it's
Super
advanced,
future.
and so he has all these superpowers that basically are just like everybody could do that in the future. But he's trying to get famous in like corporate sponsorship, and he does commercials and stuff.
You get Atom and Atom Smasher, who are two different things,
Yep, Atom shrinks, Atom Smasher grows, and is also radioactive.
and smashes things, but not like Hulk smashing, like
Is-
Atom
Is their
smashing.
name Adam and a play on words?
No.
Adam?
ATOM.
They're
Okay.
both, yeah,
Atom.
they're both Atom.
Okay.
We see Steel, who's the black Superman, who is essentially like War Machine,
Okay.
but he also has a hammer like Thor, because reasons, and a cape. Yeah, he wears the S
No
shield,
capes.
but he's an engineer. John, what's the legend? The steel driving man.
Oh, John Henry.
John
Yeah.
Henry. Yeah, his name is John
Right,
Henry. He's an
hammer.
engineer, and he builds a super suit to be like Superman. And it's this armor that he wears, and he's called Steel.
Cool. You get Black Canary and Huntress along with Green Arrow.
Yep. And the Question, who's totally just straight up detective. He doesn't have any superpowers like Batman. He doesn't even have super gadgets. He's not like rich. He just has a mask that completely conceals his face. He's like a master
and
of
really
disguise.
good martial arts skills.
He's a pretty
He's
good
buff.
martial artist, and a total conspiracy nut. Or at least that's what they want you to think.
But
You don't want to figure out that it's all.
You also get Captain
But
Marvel.
he discovers Argus and Lex Luthor are working together, and that Lex Luthor eventually becomes president, and that he like works it all out
Right.
just from knowing stuff, which is pretty impressive.
Is it?
We never see Robin,
Nope.
which kind of disappointed me.
Yeah.
What's the one that's the little boy that is actually
Shazam.
a lamb? Shazam. Is that the same as Captain Marvel?
Captain
or
Marvel,
different?
yeah.
Okay, that's why I was confused.
But then there's like copyright issue with the name
With
Captain Marvel
Captain
because
Marvel
there's other
Marvel.
Captain Marvel from Marvel who's a few different characters.
But that one was a weird one. He got an episode.
Marvel, yeah.
He's like a little kid
Billy Batson.
whose power is to turn into a man with
He's chosen as
superpowers.
the champion of the wizard Shazam, who has the
that's not in
7
the
virtues of the Greek heroes. No, it's not at all included in the show. He just says
He just
Shazam.
shows up and you're just like, wait, the little kid is
From
actually
Fawcett
a
City.
dude, or the
Kid.
dude's actually a little
At the
kid?
end,
Or
at the end of the episode, you're like, whoa, wait, he's a little boy?
you're like, what the
And
hell?
now I have to go to class, guys.
That's cool.
But he's like,
Okay, I gotta go to class, guys.
Huh?
You're just like, what?
Aquaman doesn't really come back so much in the Unlimited series, but he is around a bit.
Hawk and Dove, who are
Hawk and Dove,
not very inspiring characters, but
they're brothers. So
Great.
I relate to that.
Is
I have a
Dove
brother.
peaceful and Hawk more competitive?
Yeah, he's definitely more combative and more
combative
warlike.
or competitive?
Both.
Not competitive.
I'm combative.
Those
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, we kind of run out of time here, but this is definitely one of our awesomest, favoriteest shows that we watch on stuff, and I like it a lot.
stuff, hooray!
It's got some ridiculous plot holes though, like
Yeah,
they just
oh,
forget their
God,
superpowers.
yes.
If Superman used
I was
his
yelling at the TV yesterday.
laser beam arms, like I pretty much every time I see him, I'm like, use your heat vision, Use your heat vision. Use your heat
You
vision.
have complete control over it.
You can
do a
look-
little hole, you do a
X-ray.
big hole, whatever.
You didn't see that
anything.
coming. You have X-ray vision. Come on.
Yeah.
X-ray vision that's better than actual X-ray because it can see through things that X-rays can't see through. But,
Well, anything
And you
except
can
lead.
just-
well, yeah, but it can see through like
Lead.
steel and stuff, and X-rays can't see through that. But yeah.
Plot holes.
Woo.
Yay.
Cartoons.
Let's explain it away with science. Because science.
Anyway, so we will obviously have to revisit this topic, as well as the Teen Titans and further adventures of all
And Super Friends.
DC heroes. Yeah.
Maybe
Kyle.
more in depth about Unlimited.
I definitely feel like we can get
so
several
funny.
podcasts out of
We could
this.
probably do a whole episode
yeah.
just about Aquaman memes.
Yes.
We could do a whole episode trouncing Superman. I mean,
I think
I think
we
maybe
kind of
we should.
Two
Yeah.
Soon.
Yep.
episodes on each.
Superman's dumb. That's what we're coming away with from watching this episode of everything.
Superman
is dumb.
Batman is cool.
Yeah.
And
Aquaman
that's all
is
you need
now-
to know about
And
the
if you
Justice
didn't already
League.
know
And
it,
Hawkgirl's
I
a
mean,
badass.
I guess
Anyway,
I
thanks for
do.
tuning in and listening to another flop-ish. I don't know. This was weird, but it was awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
I like it that you guys are listening.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Yay.
And then just piece it together.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, that's
So,
basically what happens anyway.
extra stuff.
Well,
Extras. I mean,
Well, let's record an
Well, stuff
ending.
more.
we're doing an
stuff.
ending.
Is this an ending?
This is.
See
I,
an ending.
it's
It's
really
over!
long, but
This is an ending for the ending.
uh-huh.
To end all
This
endings.
is the
Until
yeah.
the next
It's
time we
the
need to do an
end
ending.
of the world
as we know it. Oh my
And
gosh.
I feel
Tia Twaki.
fine.
But only because we said it at the same time.
Exactly. It's the rapture. Goodbye, everyone.
Remember, if you want to take care of your pets, send us $1,000 and we'll go pick up your pets and
we're
take
off
care of them
that.
after
We're
the rapture.
obviously not getting raptured.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not. We've been cursing enough that it seems like.
Repent.
I feel like if there is like a god in the religious sense, he has a sense of humor because he created the fart.
So,
I'm gonna say that was an accident, actually.
But he left it.
Look, we
He
gave
didn't
you
catch it.
all
Oh, no.
the stuff to
Or
eat. We gave
she.
you meats
Or
and we
she.
give you vegetables, and yet you insist
I
on
mean, it's
eating
really just-
grasses, which you cannot digest, and they make you make those funny noises out of your butts. That's your fault. I had nothing to do with that.
I
This has
mean,
regressed a little bit.
I like. If you think about it, it's just your butt cheeks clapping together.